Truth Seekers, welcome back. Quick follow-up to my video on the death of Michael Mantenuto. I was talking about how the date he died was a date with 38 numerology. This number we find around suspicious celebrity death often. They're saying Michael Mantenuto killed himself with a gun just south of Seattle in Des Moines, Washington. So he died on this date with a life lesson number of 38. What I didn't cover was his birth numerology. He was born May 13th, 1981. We talked about what's so special about May 13th in the last video. What I forgot was the numerology, which is 118, another number we find around death and killing often. It was this number 118 that in February of 2016 made me put out a video saying Prince better watch out or we might read about him dying next right after Vanity died just before the 58th Grammys. So notice, there's another path in date numerology that I don't use very often, and a lot of people criticize me and say, why don't I? And today I'm asking myself, yeah, why don't I? This is a legitimate path. If you notice all of these paths, 65, 38, 47, 20, all of these paths right here, all except for the bottom one, 6 plus 5 in numerology at the top is 11, 1 plus 1 is 2, 38 is 3 plus 8 is 11, 1 plus 1 is 2, 47, same thing, 4 plus 7 is 11, 1 plus 1 is 2, 20 is 2 plus 0 is 2. In these methods, they'll always break down to the same single digit. But these different paths, in deeper studies of numerology, they have additional meaning. So real quick, with regards to it being a date with 47 numerology, just one more time, I want to document something about where he died and what they're saying the cause of death is. He died just south of Seattle in Des Moines, Washington, which is on the 47th parallel. In Seattle, on the 47th parallel as well, the Space Needle, it has a rotating restaurant that does a full rotation every 47 minutes. If you spell out the word time using the alphabetic order, it sums to 47. Again, the tropics that measure the solstices, Capricorn and Cancer, are 47 degrees apart. Anyhow, this actor who died, reportedly committing suicide, he's remembered for the film Miracle, came out 13 years ago. Miracle, 47, like suicide. We talked about how this has a lot to do with the basketball playoffs and murder by numbers. You got to listen to that song, what it's about. Anyhow, the star player of the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers, Steph Curry and LeBron James, both for Akron, Ohio. There's always a lot of celebrity death around the time of the NBA playoffs. This 47, it's not an arbitrary number. The first basketball championship was won in the year 47. So I'll link this post down below and I'll link the longer video. This is just a short follow-up. I wanted to cover the things I missed. Please also, if you have the time, I'm going to link this short playlist of deaths related to the Boston Celtics. I have a video on the death of Len Bias, who died 213 days after his birthday, the NBA Finals 213, a number connected to the killing of young black men throughout history. Tupac Shakur, in history, released his last studio album February 13th, 2/13, and then died 213 days later. He spent a lot of time in Los Angeles, the 213 area code. That regulator song, 213 will regulate. Check this out. Real quick, if you can do this, if you want to spread this knowledge, this gematria knowledge, there's so many clever ways to do this. We're talking about 38 in celebrity deaths. Tupac Shakur died on a date with 38 numerology, Notorious B.I.G., and so many others. Prince's death had everything to do with 38, and so many others. I mean, if you just go through my channel, I have hundreds, more than probably 1,000 examples, honestly, of murder by numbers and the number 38 over the course of history. And anyway, a good way to get out this knowledge, if you're clever, I still haven't figured out how to make a meme right, but if I did, I would take this album cover, Tupac's album that came out right after his death, where they used his alias name Makaveli, a play on Machiavelli, who wrote The Prince. And remember last year, they announced Tupac's mother's death on May 3rd. She died May 2nd, but it was news May 3rd. Reportedly, she died late May 2nd. May 3rd is the real Makaveli's birthday. Murder by numbers. Anyway, Makaveli, the way this is spelled, check this out. Tupac 74, Makaveli 74, rapper 74, rhyme 74, song 74, Jesus 74, cross 74, killing 74. The word gematria equals 74. The band Slipknot has a song called Gematria, the killing name. The song Murder by Numbers is about how it's as simple to kill as ABC 1, 2, 3. But anyway, if you could take, the gematria knowledge and put it on the screen and just show all the 74, and there's a whole lot more with Jesus and cross. Messiah 74, Gospel 74, Parable 74, more. Special number. But I mean, if you could put that out there, and imagine an image like that became viral on Facebook, and all these people saw gematria for the first time and said, what in the world? Is that a coincidence? And the next thing you know, people are working on the next clever meme, because there are just so many of these in the world of gematria. Flight 77 on September 11th, that's the best example in the world. But there's just so many over the course of time, In the world of hip-hop, you could do a million of these. The death of Eazy-E with Ice Cube's album Lethal Injection. You could show the distance from the date the album came out to Eazy-E being announced having AIDS and then dying shortly after. And it always comes back to these same numbers. So that's what I mean. We got to figure out a way to get out this knowledge. I need to get more clever and artistic myself. I need to learn how to make these memes. In some ways, I'm really dumb, truth seeker. And I tell that to hopefully inspire you because really, sometimes I toot my own horn, but really, I'm not that much greater than the average man. Anyone can do what I'm doing if they're willing. But people who understand the gematria, who can make these memes, let's start making them and getting them out on social media, People got to know what's going on. This murder by numbers thing, it needs to be put to bed. There could just be so many with celebrities in 38. I'm just envisioning what it could look like. You could have a row of your 16 favorite celebrities, famous deaths, and then the date numerology of all the deaths, and they'll all be 38. Just again and again. Dead 38 days from the birthday. So, anyhow, one of two things are going on. They're faking their deaths or they're being murdered. And either way, the practice needs to be exposed because it's creating needless sadness, There's so many people in this world that worship the celebrities. There's probably a lot of young girls out there that have a crush on this guy, maybe young boys that looked up to him in the hockey role. It just hurts people a little bit to hear that somebody died so young. Suicide. And in reality, it's, either they're faking the deaths or they're being murdered. And imagine being murdered and then it being front page news that you killed yourself. I mean, how sick is that? So that's why I make these videos because, this practice needs to stop. Somebody just asked me to make a video on Marvin Gaye today. Somebody also asked me that 3 days ago, and somebody asked me that 10 days ago. You guys, please learn to search for videos. I have 2 videos on the death of Marvin Gaye. So to ask me to make another one, it's just like, come on. You guys, use the search. I have videos on almost every dead celebrity you can think of, Almost all of them. The word's got to get out. Everybody keeps getting killed by the same numbers. And with regards to this 118, all of Tupac's entourage that's died since his death has died on a date with 118 numerology. Tupac Shakur, here, we'll just do it together. He died September 13th, 1996. 9 plus 13 plus 96, that's a fair way to get the date numerology. 118, you see? Or you can do 9 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1 plus 9 plus 6. 9 plus 1, 10, plus 3, 13, plus 1, 14, plus 9, 23, plus 9, 32, plus 6, 38. And for any of you who say this is too hard, I hope you guys aren't the same types of people that sit on your couch and rag on people who smoke weed because I'm baked off my ass and I can do this half asleep, you know what I mean? So, get with the program, you guys. Smoke sativa. Until next time.